It's time for my 2021 holiday card tutorial, and this year our watercolor greeting is inspired by wintry Scandinavian scenes. Hello my friends, welcome back. My name is Shayda Campbell and today's video is a special one. So I'm inviting you into my home because we're gonna hang out and we are going to create our 2021 holiday cards. The watercolor holiday card tutorial is one that I have been doing for many years now. It was one of the first videos I ever did on the channel and we've done it every year since. To make this the 6th year, I think. I've made a holiday playlist on my YouTube channel homepage, so make sure to go back and check out all those old videos if you want to see some other ideas. But in this video, I'll share a really fun, simple watercolor card that you can create not only once, but a bunch of times to make sure you have lots of cards for friends and family. I've got my tea, I'm ready to paint. Here's what I use to do the cards. I like to have a surface to paint on, like a sketchbook. And then I always pick up blank greeting card and envelope sets from the dollar store or from the craft store, just little 4x6 cards. Now you can't paint on those. You need to cut watercolor paper to fit on the card, and then we just, have a glue stick or rubber cement on hand to put them together later. So proper cold pressed 140 pound watercolor paper is what we are actually painting on today. So cut a few pieces to fit your cards. You'll want a pencil and eraser, and then of course a set of watercolor paints. I'm using my Mungyo set. It's linked in the video description. You can't really see it on screen here, but I have paper towel for blotting my brush, couple glasses of clean water, one for cool colors, one for warm colors, and then of course you're going to want your round paint brushes. I am using a number 4 and a number 3 long round brush. These are also linked in the video description. They are from Princeton. I love these brushes. I've been using them for 3 or 4 months now, maybe even longer, and they've lasted really well, and they are synthetic. So if you don't like using animal hair brushes, I highly recommend. Okay, here's how we start our card. Using your pencil, you're going to draw a tiny little house shape, just like the traditional shape with the peaked roof. And then we are going to add kind of a side angle to it. Super simple. Let's do it again, because again, we're doing these in groups. You want to maybe create 5 or 6 or even a dozen cards. You can play around, make some of the houses tall and lean, some of them short and fat. It doesn't matter. Just draw your little house shape. Then we're ready to paint. So we'll talk about color mixing briefly. My cards this year are inspired by kind of Nordic art, and we're painting this cute little Nordic winter scene, and I want it to have a pink sky. So I'm mixing up a really pretty peachy pink, and you're seeing me scrubbing at the cake of white paint with a clean wet brush, and I bring the white pigment over to the palette and I'm mixing it with just a little bit of red. And then I'm also mixing this color, I think it's called Jaune Brilliant. It is a peachy color. I'm going to mix that in. Just every time you bring paint over, you're using a clean wet brush to scrub at the cake of paint, and then pick up the pigment and bring it to the palette where you will mix your perfect shade of peach or pink or whatever color you happen to be mixing. That's the color for the sky. For the mountains that we are going to paint, I am using a mix of cobalt blue and French gray. I really like the way the gray kind of mutes the blue a little bit, and I get this beautiful blue-gray color. I'll also add a little bit of indigo to this color just to darken it slightly. I don't want to darken all of it because then I've got kind of a light area to pick from and a dark area. And then I'm using a little bit of brown, and that's going to be the color for the house. So just grab any brown, and that's where we'll start. We're just going to paint our little house. Basically, you're just coloring it in. You could make the side of the house a little slightly bit darker, but other than that, just keep it simple, and then we'll move on to the mountains. Want to finish your Christmas shopping while you watch YouTube videos? I now have merch available. Oh, what's that? You like my shirt? These are t-shirts designed by me featuring my perfectly imperfect floral artwork. You can also shop my e-course. It covers all the basics of watercolor painting. It's available for purchase on my website, and it makes a great gift for the creative in your life. Or gift yourself a year subscription to my Patreon page where you can enjoy extra monthly videos, worksheets, and coloring pages. Check the video description for links to all of these items. I've picked up some of that blue-gray in my brush, and then starting at the left side of the card, we are going to ever so lightly draw 3 or 4 mountains right behind the house. So you're kind of just drawing the horizon line. If you feel better about doing this in pencil, do it in pencil. Then we're going to draw the kind of mountain peak using that blue-gray, and then with that nice dark rich color, we fill in the top of the mountain, but just concentrate on painting that line where the snow peak meets the blue-gray color. And then with a damp clean brush, we are going to bleed that color out until it's almost transparent. So you've got this dark blue-gray right at the top of the mountain. We'll do it again. You draw the snowy peak, then with the same dark color, you're filling in the top of the mountain. So you get this nice dark contrast between mountain and snow. Then with a clean damp brush, you are bleeding out that blue-gray color until it's almost not there at all down by the house. And I've kind of picked from different colors, so you can see one mountain might be a little more blue and one's a little more gray, and then at the bottom where the snow is going to sit, the color is very, very light. Okay, then with a clean brush, we're going to pick up some of that peachy pink, and we're going to do a similar thing. Starting at the top of the mountains, we're going to lay down that nice rich color, and then we're going to bleed and blend it out towards the outer edges of our greeting cards, creating a very perfectly imperfect border on the sides and top of the card. So we want it to kind of look like the scene ends naturally. So starting dark along the horizon line at the top of those mountains, we're putting our nice dark peach and pink, and then using a lighter color or even just a bit of water, we're blending outward. And that's exactly what you see me doing here. It's just going to look very perfectly imperfect, and you can always add a bit of darker peach or pink on that horizon if it doesn't look quite dark enough. Okay, so that is the first part of the first card all done. Let's do it again really quick. I don't want to bore you, but I do want to give you the sense that you could do a group of these, have fun, play around with all of them, and by the time you've done 4 or 5, you're going to be getting in a great amount of watercolor practice, and you can try the scene in a couple different ways, and I think that's really fun. So just a quick refresher, you start by filling in the little house, then you sketch a horizon line with 3 or 4 mountain peaks, draw in the snowy mountain cap, use the darker blues and grays at the top of the mountain where the snow meets the blue-gray, and then using a damp, clean brush, you're going to blend out that dark color until it's almost transparent down at the bottom of the house where you'll eventually have the snow. Then with a clean brush, you pick up your peachy pink and you kind of do the same thing. You put the darker peaches and pinks at the horizon line, and then use a lighter peach or even just water to blend outward and upward. And if you've been wondering this whole time, why didn't she paint the roof? Well, the answer is I have really no idea why I didn't do that. So then you can grab a darker brown or gray or black or whatever, fill in that little roof because there's no reason not to. Just it's the one rectangular shape, and then you can put a little line on the other side just to, make it look like that roof goes right over. And there is the first part of our card all done. It's so simple and fun to paint. And then from there, we let the card dry and we start to add smaller details. First of all, you could do a little chimney. That's where I started on this one, but that's not important. The real details that we want to add to these cards are trees and flowers. Of course, how could this be a Shayda Campbell video without all that good stuff? So I'm mixing up a nice dark green. It's a mix of phthalo green with a bit of indigo in it, or you could try adding purple. And then using a dark brown, I am going to begin by painting a tree trunk, so just a very imperfect line. And then we have a bit of fun here. We make these fun kind of illustrated Scandinavian trees. So you can see I'm just doing little curving lines on each side of my tree trunk. I'm going to get closer so you can really see what I'm doing, but I'm basically just painting a bunch of cute, funny little trees. Start with the dark brown trunk, and then you add just curving lines or even straight lines all along the length of that tree trunk. They can blend together a little bit. They can be super far apart to make them look really, illustrative and cute. Do whatever you want. Just make a bunch of them at all different heights and sizes, and the card is going to look so sweet. So with the first detail, the trees, all done, we're going to move on and we are going to add some more detail to this card, and that is little windows and a door. We basically just want to really make this look like a proper house. I am just using a bit of dark gray brown in the very tip of that pointed round brush, and I am drawing basically little window shapes, little square with a cross through it. Keep it simple, and if you would be more comfortable using a watercolor pencil or even a fine liner for this step, the choice is yours. You just want it to look like a little house. And if you accomplish that, you've done your job. So that's step 2 finished. We've added detail in the form of trees and windows using a wet on dry technique. I'm going to do the same thing for my second card here. Add a little chimney, add some trees, add maybe a little shading on the roof, and of course all the windows and doors. Unfortunately on this one, I used my green paint and I tried to put a little wreath above the door. I'm not sure that was so successful. It just looks like a big green blob above the door, but anywho, trying different things. We'll just give that card to someone we don't like as much. Just kidding. Now I can't give that card to anybody. Anyways, step 1 and 2 are complete. And we're going to move on to step 3, which is to add our message and of course some details in the foreground. So I like to just put a little line across the bottom. That kind of acts as my guide and helps me to place the message where I want it. You can write happy holidays or whatever you like. I like these cards because they're very neutral. You could just send out a winter greeting. And then I'm using the lightest little bit of gray to just hint at snow. You can kind of blend it out. Just make sure you're using a very light watery color, and you're just going to do some little kind of messy brush strokes, and it just hints at the idea of there being shadows on the very white snow. You could even try drawing or painting a messy little path or footprints leading up to the house. Keep it very, very light, and I think you'll find it's hard to mess up. From there, I am going to use a fine liner to write my holiday message. As I said, this doesn't have to be a Christmas card. For this one, I'm going to write stay cozy. It's just nice to send some snail mail to a friend sometimes. It doesn't have to have anything to do with the holidays. I think that's so nice. So there, my cards now have their foreground with the snow and their message. And as I said, wouldn't be a Shayda Campbell tutorial unless we did some flowers and leaves. So that's exactly what we're going to do. Right above the message that you wrote in with your pen, we're going to place some really sweet, messy, cute little berries and leaves. So just keep this very simple and whimsical. The more wonky and weird and perfectly imperfect, the better. I recommend using warm colors like browns, reds, and purples for these flowers. It really brings the color palette of the entire card together in a really nice wintry way. And my final recommendation, if you're painting a batch of these, do it in steps like I did, where you paint the mountains, then the trees, then the foreground. Makes it really approachable. Okay, we're ready to glue our cards together. I would use usually a little bit of rubber cement or a glue stick works well. Typically the paper will have curled a little bit, so you may want to glue them down and then make sure they're dry, but set them under a stack of heavy books or something, and they'll look beautiful and flat, and they'll be ready for the post in no time. Thank you so much for watching today. I hope you'll be painting handmade holiday cards this Christmas. Post them on social media using hashtag ShaydaMadeMeDrawIt. And if you love this video, be sure to hit that subscribe button.